Don't you want this too?
I don't know.
Well, that doesn't really help me.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
So, I am.
Yeah, you've already done it. I mean, I haven't.
You have to trust me.
I'm trying to trust you. Well, I did completely trust you, and then last month when you told me that you still had feelings for your ex-girlfriend, I lost a little bit of that trust because I thought you were totally devoted to me. As soon as she comes back, you could just, like, dump me.
I won't. So?
Do we have to do it now? Like, can we wait a little while?
What? You, like, want to wait a half hour or what?
It doesn't feel right here. It doesn't feel right here.
Where will it feel right?
Later. I don't know.
Later.
I don't know. It seems so soon. We haven't been together that long.
What you're saying is you don't trust me.
I do trust you.
No, you don't.
Well, I do, and I have doubts.
Okay.
Just because of past experiences.
Just forget it. Just forget it.
No, I don't want you to be
forget it.
angry at me.
Forget it. It's too late. I'm already angry, so don't say you don't want me to be, because obviously you do, or you wouldn't have said all that stuff. Because now I'm mad.
I didn't say it to make you angry. I said it because I wanted you to understand where I'm coming from. You have to wait for me.
Okay. We'll wait.
But are you...
Freeze. I want you to make a shape of Brad's strongest emotion right now. And I want you to make a shape of Sam's strongest emotion right now. When I clap my hands, do it fast, okay?
This is theater director David Diamond.
Now a sentence. A sentence is this character. Here we go.
I need you.
These students have been invited to explore the question, what makes young people shut down under pressure?
Let me help you.
They come from a dozen high schools around Vancouver. Most of them don't know each other. They'll be working together for 4 days.
I don't want to die. Would you just leave her alone?
Choreographer Judith Marcuse organized these sessions. She's creating a new theater and dance work based on these workshops. It will open in a few months.
Normally, I mean, as a choreographer, what I create comes out of my own experience, right? I'm not interpreting other people's experiences. So for me, this whole process is terrifying.
Judith is counting on David to bring out words, ideas, and movement. David has conducted more than 200 workshops of this kind.
My experience is that if you give people, regardless of who they are, it doesn't matter the age group, it doesn't matter the origin, you know, the ethnic origin or the gender, whatever it is, if you give them the opportunity to tell their stories are there, and they're dying to be told. And they come up with great depth and great honesty. Okay, focus yourselves in here.
I like the way he uses images, because I think it leaves it so much more open. Like, instead of coming up there and going, okay, I'm going to do this image, and it's an image of me being oppressed, and this is the oppressor, and this the oppressed person, and this is what they're feeling. You just go up there, and he doesn't care about that. He goes, just do the image. And so you do it, and it's up to everyone else in the room to decide what that person's feeling, and that way you get a sense of what everyone's experience is. So even though the image may have been mine, it may have been Jill's, it becomes the whole room's because everyone's putting their own input into it. It's so open when you use the image.
Okay, thank you. And the next one.
Just his method of the exercises, like I thought it was going to be a bunch of improvs and okay, now do a scene where, but just the way he takes an image, and this hit me the first day where you get one image and you get like when he had us all line up behind them. It makes it more real.
What a loser. She doesn't fit in. She should be locked up at home. She is. Just look at her.
It's hard to explain the level of trust that there is too, because like to be able to offer a scene from your life, or even if it's an anonymous thing where it's just an image, like it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of trusting everyone here.
This is an image of being so afraid that you're shut down. What does this mean to you?
Samantha wants Kyle to go with her, like, home, like, leave them alone, they're dead, like, just let them rest in peace, but he can't believe it.
I can't believe them.
You've got to come with me.
They're my family.
I've got to help myself.
I have to stay here with them.
You're just scared.
Do you see yes, I'm scared.
I need your help. I've been depending on you.
I never thought it'd be so
You lied to me. What is this?
No, I didn't lie to you.
Action. Play out the scene. Stop. Come on out of there. Come and sit here, okay? What does this mean to you? Do you relate this to your lives? Nobody? The energy in the room actually tells me that you do, but that you don't want to talk about it. Does this scene scare anybody? Scares you, scares me, scares you.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I sense that this is that what's in the center of this is scary. And of course we're looking at images where somebody was so frightened that they shut down, so it's logical that it would be scary, right? We're looking at things that are supposed to be scary.
If the starting point is the person who is shut down,
That's where we're starting.
right? And so then instead of looking at the external world, what you then end up focusing into is, and everything you see is inside that person.
That's what
They are voices inside her, right? They could be her own voices, or they could be voices that come from somewhere else but live in her.
I don't even think about myself.
The voices I'm talking to. I'm going to ask you to do an internal monologue, okay? Your thoughts and feelings as this character. Stay in your shape. Here we go.
I can't take this anymore.
Can't take this anymore.
I don't want anybody to find out.
I don't want anybody to find out.
You never do anything right.
You never do anything right.
Full of rage.
I'm full of rage.
I'm saying this for your own good.
I'm saying this for your own good. Okay, everybody relax. What I'm going to do is really quickly ask each of these to come in and play a scene with you. Okay? Is that okay? Okay. Voices, come over here. If they're saying something to you that makes sense, that makes sense in there to you, go with it.
Okay.
But don't go with it if it doesn't. Okay? We're just going to see, there's no way to do this wrong. We're just going to see what happens. Okay? Here we go. Try to get what you want from her.
Look at these grades. I can't believe you got another B.
A B? What the hell? Isn't that good enough?
No, it isn't.
What
Don't you know what universities want? They want A's.
Okay, I am not going to university.
Yes, you
Hello,
are.
I'm not smart enough to go to university.
You are. No, look, if you don't come up with A's by next term, you are not going anywhere this summer.
Whatever, I don't think so.
Listen to me, young
Mike,
lady.
don't you understand? I'm doing the best I can. Obviously,
your best.
obviously, if I could achieve to get A's, I would be getting them. But I'm not getting them, am
Maybe
I?
you're just not
No,
working
I'm
hard
getting
enough. Maybe you should be
B's.
going out
So
every
that's
time.
the best that I can do, and that's what I'm
Forget it,
getting.
you're grounded.
Whatever.
You're not going anywhere.
Okay.
Okay, good, thank you. Go over there. Go that way. Next.
You gotta let them know how angry you are. You gotta let them know how you really feel within yourself and how I feel. You have to let me out through your anger. Be more aggressive with them.
You're covering up.
Covering what up?
You're covering up your weaknesses, your
My-
insecurity.
So? It's a way of dealing with it.
You can't deal with it that way. You have to tell them. You have to understand that they'll listen to you.
No one wants to listen to me.
Look at them. They're your friends. They want to listen to you.
Not my problems.
You have to trust them. You have to get it out somewhere else. One time you're just going to explode.
No one can relate to me.
What's inside you right now? What are you thinking? Ah? You're thinking, ah?
That I really, deep down inside, I do want to tell someone how I'm feeling, but I don't know if it should be them, if it should be who it should be. I feel like I have no one to talk to about this, and I don't know how to define it or explain it. Just really confused, all these different things.
Yeah, it's all here.
I think that's why it's kind of scary to me, is because it makes me kind of wonder where did these voices come from? Why are they always coming back, and can't they, are they going to go away, or can they just leave me alone, kind of thing?
Just tell her I'm trying to put it
Sometimes I just get too overwhelmed and stuff. I just think I'm going crazy, and I just say to myself, I'm crazy, and I'm not normal, and this can't be happening to anyone else. This can't. It's just me. But when I came here, and when I came to the last one, I realized that, wow, it really does happen to other people. It's not just me.
Understand that you're part of a journey. You're now one person. And there's 1 or 2 or 3 steps, however many, to get to here. And there's some steps to get to here. And there's some steps to get to here. And maybe it goes on from here, right? Can you place yourselves in, just as shapes, as the steps before, after, and in between these signposts? Who can see something? Okay. Are there any other stages here that you see? Okay, because we're talking about shutting down and not gaining power, I'm going to start over there, okay, and move this way. It's one person. And I want you to listen to the sentence so that when Annika, you say something,
Yeah, it really-
it's not a dialogue, but you hear this, and then what's the next place that the person is at?
Okay.
What's the next place this person is at? What's the next place the person is at? What's the next place the person is at? So you're all one person. Take the shape.
Stand up for yourself.
It's an internal statement. Stand up for yourself.
I'm not taking any more of their shit.
I'm not taking any more of their shit.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but
Can't believe this keeps happening.
can't believe this keeps happening.
I still have to prove my love.
I still have to prove my love.
Just listen, okay?
Just listen, okay?
I don't know what else to do.
Don't know what else to do.
No one's listening to me.
Nobody's listening to me.
It's not worth it anymore.
It's not worth it anymore.
This is really the end.
This is really the end. What did you see, here, etc.?
Just stages of people's lives. Everybody's at a different level within themselves.
Okay, yeah.
We've been talking about shutting down, and we just watched someone do it. Like, we just saw how it happens instead of showing, okay, I'm shut down, and I'm not shut down, just watched it unfold.
And we went from having 4 separate characters there who looked like they were all feeling something different into one person feeling all of these things.
Some of the lines are just stuff that I've heard or said so much, and find it kind of hard to leave it there now.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Can I just ask a question? I just want hands. Who's traveled this journey that we just saw? I know I have. Who's traveled it here in this room? Yeah. Yeah, this is why it was so strong. Okay. Take the shape.
stand up for yourself. I'm not taking any more of their shit.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but
Can't believe this keeps happening. I still have to prove my love.
Just listen, okay?
I don't know what else to do.
No one's listening to me.
It's not worth it anymore.
This is really the end.
This is really the end. Thank you very much.
I don't know how he does it, but he actually makes you feel you're like at home or somewhere where you're really comfortable, and he actually understands how we feel, and he doesn't push you. He just makes you feel at home. He makes you open up so easily that I don't know, it's like how he does it's like magical, how he makes you open up like that. It's like, I don't know, he the way he talks, like nobody really talks to us like that. Like our teachers have authority, so they like talk to us like as a teacher, but he talks to us like as a friend, as somebody like, I felt like I've known everybody in his room like for like since I've been a baby, and I have just known him like since Sunday, and it's like it's kind of weird how we learn to trust each other so easily.
I'm constantly astounded that everything is right in the room. I think people feel remarkably at ease to reveal themselves.
It's our impression from the work we've been doing that there's an awful lot of suicide around and an awful lot of talk about suicide, an awful lot of talk about it. And I wonder if you could just share some of your experience around that issue.
we had a boy at our school at the beginning of the year. Everyone would always call him, oh yeah, you're a fag and everything, and he actually ended up committing suicide. And like, even still, like, I didn't know him that well. He was in one of my classes, but I was really affected by it. And I heard names that people called him. And then even after that, like the day of his funeral, they'd be like, oh, well, where's so-and-so? Like, well, they're at his funeral. And they go, oh, him, the gay guy? And like, even after he killed himself, there was still this, oh, he's such a fag. Like, people still made fun of him even after. I couldn't believe it.
The guy I was talking about was a really close friend, so it really, like, even now he's just the fag to a lot of people, and no, he wasn't. He was a great person, right?
I'm finally getting out of this horrible depression. It's really bad. But I remember just as it was starting, one of my really close guy friends, someone he had introduced me to, he committed suicide because he was gay and no one accepted him, except for like the few of his friends, and he committed suicide. And that set my friend off. And so I tried to help him through it, but that was when my life began to go whoosh. And so it was really hard for me to like try and talk to him. So we were basically trying to talk to each other, but we couldn't because we were both feeling so bad and so pathetic and so horrible, and just we were worth nothing. And we'd have arguments about who was worth less. Because he's always talking about suicide. And I've been there, but I've never taken that final pill or taken that final cut or whatever to just end it all. Like,
when it comes to pills, I'll take enough just to knock me out for a while. I know I'll be alive afterwards, and it won't solve anything. When I do that, not many people notice, and that's what sets me off even more, is that I have a really bad problem when it comes to attention. I'll just be like, give me attention, everyone look at me, look at me. While that was happening, and no one was paying attention to me, and no one cared, it was like, wow, okay, if I was to just, like, I live right by the Fraser River, so it's like, wow, another death opportunity there. If I was to take a walk by the river and accidentally not come back, who would notice?
Let her down.
I guess the reason it's hard for them to understand is because nothing really set me off. Nothing like threw me into this depression. I've just felt sad and all melancholy, and just because I was feeling that way, my life went even more and more like deeper and deeper into this big hole I've been digging. And now I've finally like found that rope or ladder, and I've began to climb out, but there's sometimes I just want to jump back down to the bottom of this hole and stay there.
I was really like that in grade 9 at one point, when I was being harassed a lot and being called a slut and stuff like this, and I just think that's like such a damaging thing to do to people. And I remember like having a handful of my mom's painkillers, which I kind of knew wouldn't do that much. I think it was partially like symbolic. I just wanted to end the pain. You know, painkillers are supposed to do that. And yeah, luckily there was a friend there who I told because she'd told me when she'd felt that way a few months ago. And she made me come over right away and just kept me there, making me talk. She just sat there saying, okay, you're gonna keep talking. You know, and so I did. And I was depressed for like another month, but I wasn't that bad because I knew that there would be people who would make me talk, and that's why I was that bad, because I didn't think anyone would.
I wouldn't say attempted, but nearby attempted suicide at least 4 times. All of them have been like different ways, and I just find myself in it. I don't even really know, like I guess I kind of blanked out, and I'd find myself like on the bathroom floor just suddenly bawling my eyes with like all these pills in my hands, and I don't even know how I got there kind of thing, and it's just the scariest thing. And it was just so hard for me, like, and it just happened again, and I don't even know why really. So it's just the fear of getting there, I guess.
Going on what Jill said, that is the most terrifying state, is when you realize that you're right there, you think that you're in that position where you know you'd rather be dead than alive, and you know that you're able to do it at that moment. You're able to kill yourself. But I was in that state for like, I went through a whole like 6-month period where I thought that I'd rather be dead because I felt so absolutely terrible all the time about myself. I thought I didn't deserve to live. So it's the scariest realization when you're there and you hate yourself that much, and you're that angry and you're that hurting that you can't, it's like you're out of control, and that's so scary because you could do it, and you realize that you could do it. And I never actually attempted to, and I don't think I would have, but realizing I felt that bad. And it's the worst thing in the whole world, and you don't know how you get there, but it's a snowball effect. It's like something sets it off, and then, but it's terrifying after the fact, because I don't think that would happen to me again, but at the time it was really scary.
It's almost like I don't know, I don't really share the way I feel with people that I'm close to, because I don't want to burden them. And well, what she was saying with the signs of those, I would get pamphlets on the signs of suicide and make sure I wasn't giving off any of them, because I didn't want anyone to know. Because I didn't want people to worry, and I didn't want them to stop me, because I figured the worst thing they can do is put me away somewhere where I can't do anything. And then it gets so bad and I can't end it. And it was, I mean, maybe because it went on for so long. And I thought of like all these things, and oh, what if I have to die and I can't, and I'm like locked up somewhere, and I don't know. It's really oh, just thinking back on it, like I can't say I won't ever be back there. And that's what's more terrifying, I think, than anything.
I've certainly been in situations in my life where I've got lost. And it's really important in those moments to stop and try to look at where you are objectively. Sometimes your friends can help you do that, and sometimes your friends can't help you do that because they're in it with you. And that's where counselors and therapists, and I agree, there's lots of bad ones out there. I agree. But they also have a role to play because they're not in the circle with you. And sometimes it's really important to be able to talk to somebody who isn't in it with you, right? Yeah, I think it's, what I want to leave you with is this sense that it's possible to get objective about where you are. That in every single situation we're in, it's possible to make a choice. There's choices to make, always, 100% of the time.
Wow.
I don't. I'm so happy I found this. This is
what I've always
for the
wanted.
rest of my life. I'd be completely happy. I could just be like this forever and never have it end. Totally happy.
We're all here for each other.